Hey guys, thanks for checking out the podcast. Before we get started, I want to remind you about the very cool bucket list trip I am doing in 2026, the Smitty Learns Irish podcast, where I'm going to do my bucket list, hike Ireland for a year, learn about Irish history, town by town, through the mouths of the pub owners and regulars. Because what's a better way to learn about something you love than to experience it yourself? Patreon.com/we3smiths, only $3 a month, and thanks for checking it out. The dude, where's my lease? It's a fucking saga, man. I think the last time, just as a quick recap, from the last time I talked about it, the house that I'm renting is sold. It's obviously where I do the podcast, in the basement. And so it was sold. And we heard that. That was the latest thing. While also at the same time, our lease on the portal site, the FT, I think it was some sort of FTP site, portal site, where they keep the leases, the maintenance requests, and all that stuff. We both electronically signed the lease, and it fucking just disappeared. Right around the same time they sold the house. Fucking weird, right? And it's really stirring up my hatred of just shitty business practices, and I'm really trying to play this one halfway political. I'm not not trying to really go overboard as far as talking shit, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep things a lot fairly vague. But what's the latest? The house is sold. I want to say this Friday, just a few days now, 4 days. They close, and they had to get all this fucking construction, or at least some construction done on the house in order to sell it. Because as I said in a couple other podcasts, there's just such huge leak damage in this certain part of the house that was honestly due to like shoddy craftsmanship and some serious DIY maintenance that went awry. Ryan did not mean it. So these guys have been here a couple times now, both on Saturdays in the morning, because they can't come on regular days. I don't know. And what was it, last Saturday? This actually makes me laugh because I do these fucking weed day workout runs. Had a fucking triumphant one today where I'm leveling up. Anyway, I was like, I knew these guys were coming last Saturday, and I'm like, I was going to work out. I was planning on doing a 2-hour elliptical run. And when I do it, obviously I have the TV on in front of me with the virtual run through whatever country on YouTube. And then I have some fucking soundtrack of some of my shit playing on the background. And it gets pretty fucking loud, and it can be fairly distracting to people working. But I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking over this shit, man. You do your work. I didn't say this to them, but I'm just like, I'm going to fucking run. It also helped me get over my mad anxiety of working out around people. So that's key. And then these guys left at like 11:30 with like the paneling still off and like insulation hanging down and not fucking swept, and debris everywhere and nails. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I swept it up, cleaned it up, like a day later or something. Oh, you know what? This was what? When was this? Doesn't really matter. I saw the one. I don't even know what the association this dude has with the company, but he swung in to drop off more supplies so that they could work, the construction guys. And I just happened to say, hey, which by the way, I said, any word on that lease at all? And he said, oh, I'll check on it. And nothing ever happened, which by the way, we now have a month by month invoice. We'll get to that in a second. It's fucking, there's all sorts of details, Smitty. Come on, stick with the fucking program here. So this guy, again, he's part of the company, but I don't want to mention names or anything. Says, oh, yeah, I'm going to drop more stuff off here. Well, just so you know, your guys just like totally left all sorts of fucking debris, didn't clean anything up. And I'm not the type of person, I hate the fucking very idea of like narking on people, especially like construction guys, because those are the guys I typically gravitate towards. I did construction for the first quarter of my life, pretty much. So I really gravitate to, that sort of vibe, especially over the fucking asshole fucking rental agencies that are completely acting shysterish, which is probably not even a word. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, he's like, that's bad crap, bad professionalism or whatever. Like, yeah, okay. So fast forward to this past Saturday, where they kind of, to say they completed it, is this that they made it look like something was over the insulation, kind of replaced this thing. It's hard to explain without really getting into detail. Just know that they're supposed to be fixing leak damage, and what's fucking hilarious is it's leaking worse now than it ever had before, because there's really no way to fix the fucking part of it without actually just tearing everything down and building it up again, essentially. And it makes me fucking laugh because somebody's got to deal with this fucking thing, and I'm just like, but again, they left the fucking debris everywhere. They finally got, the fucking insurance. What am I saying? The fucking insulation. Insulation is good insurance to keep you warm in the winter. Anyway, I'm just like, how the fuck do you leave all this debris around again? After you go out of your way, the construction guy, when he came and he's like, oh, make sure to tidy up before I go. And he left the garage an absolute fucking disaster too, with like sawdust everywhere, fucking material laying everywhere. Nothing is tidied up at all for when the guy's supposed to pick it all up, which is going to make me fucking laugh again. I actually was thinking earlier today, I'm like, it would be really funny, kind of, at least for me, if I go to Levi and say, hey, dude, let's fucking load up all the fucking materials. If they don't pick it up and don't clean up the disaster in my fucking garage, dude, let's just load up all these supplies and put them down, just deliver them right in front of their fucking office with a note, who it's from, by the way. Oh, wanted to return your fucking supplies since you just happened to forget them. Oh, P.S. Did you find our lease yet? That lease does not exist. It will never exist. We have to be out of this house pretty much by August. So like I said, they, closing this Friday, and the people in charge, the rental agency, were like, they talked to Levi because I think they know that's a better way to go. That guy's way more political than I am. Yeah, we don't know what's. They still want to rent to you through August, was essentially for whatever the rent was last lease, month by month, until the through August. And it's not even anything against the fucking new owners. I understand the way things are. I really do. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to like shitty business practices or people that don't honor fucking leases or contracts. What else did I want to say? They're doing a month by month lease out in August through the end of August. And I'm like, wonder how kicking and screaming I can go. Because right now I am kind of in like emergency mode. I have another job coming up, a third job I have coming up. The podcast is starting to hit. The third job is actually going to really fit in with my schedule as well. I'm going to have to move out of this house. I am not going to be able to afford to live in this fucking town. So there's all sorts of things up in the air. I do know that I have probably a way too high level of fuck you in me to do anything but not kill it and fucking, especially with this podcast and everything right now. I have such an obsessive laser focus right now, based purely on hatred. Is it really hatred? It's getting there. I hate very few things, but it's just such a life disruption and just a total fuck you. I don't usually let those things sit with me very well. As I get older, I try to let, more and more of those things go, things that I used to uh fucking go overboard with, but I really try to pick my fucking battles now. And I don't know how much I'm going to battle with these people, but it's like in my head, what if I'm not out by fucking the end of August? What if I'm not ready? What if I have a place that I can't get into until, I don't know, let's just say for the sake of argument, September 15th, October 15th. Let's just say that. October 15th, which is a month and a half after the fuck you date. You know, you got a place. Oh, it's not going to be ready until October 15th, but after that, you're free to move in. Okay, well, I got this place. I got this job I can get. Let's see. What's oh, that won't work. Well, what are you going to do? If I give you money and stay in here another month and a half, I mean, do police really come and drag your fucking ass out? I mean, I guess if there's no lease, right? There's nothing, but there's got to be some sort of squatter, some sort of fucking squatter caveat in that. I don't know. Talking about leveling up, which I do believe that so far is the end, I do believe, of the latest episode of Dude, Where's My Lease? I think I covered pretty much everything. Side note, I don't hate anybody. They're probably pretty nice people in person, but let me take that back. I'm not ready to put a positive spin on it yet. Not one single fucking bit. Speaking of leveling up, I really, when I say this laser focus thing, I honestly, it feels awesome. It is such a motivator to when you have to put your shit into overdrive. You know, you have to fucking make sure you're killing it on all angles in order to just survive. Because at this point, like if I don't nail all of these things, I'm not going to be homeless. That's not what I'm suggesting, but it'll totally fuck up this podcast, and I don't want that to happen. I can't afford that to happen, and hence one reason why I'll be a giant a-hole if things go south. What the hell? Everything.